So you want to set up a smart home. Here are my top tips to make sure you have the absolute best experience. Tip number 1 is to pick a smart home ecosystem and stick with it religiously. Your smart home ecosystem is going to be the one central place you control all of your devices from, and it's also going to dictate which smart speakers you use. If you and your household use Apple devices, I highly recommend Apple HomeKit. Otherwise, I'd say go with Amazon Alexa. Tip number 2 is whenever you're buying smart home products, make sure they're compatible with the smart home ecosystem you chose. If they're not, find another one. You'll see why this is so important in the next tip. Tip number 3, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable. Every time you set up a smart home device or you want to control a smart home device, you want to do it through the app of your ecosystem. In this case, we have Apple HomeKit here. Having everything consolidated in one single place is crucial for a seamless smart home experience. You never ever want to be using external apps or other apps for the specific devices. Every single device you have should be able to be controlled from one central place. This has a few knockdown benefits as well, of being able to really easily share your smart home to other people in your household. If it's all in one spot, you just give them access to that one spot and they now have full access to your smart home without having to set anything up. It also means all of your automations can be managed and set up from one place. It means your voice assistant can seamlessly control every single one of your devices. You need to make sure that no matter what, anytime you control a device or set a device up, it's always done through one single app, and that's the smart home ecosystem you choose. Number 4, you need to make sure every smart home device you set up is also dumb. Let me show you what I mean. That means that every single smart device you install, you also need to be able to control manually as a backup or for people that don't know how to interact with your smart home. That's personally one reason why I love smart light switches over smart bulbs, is because no matter what, you always retain full manual control while still having seamless smart control. An example of where a lot of people get this wrong is putting smart bulbs into lamps, or maybe smart plugs going to a lamp. If you do install something like this, you really want to make sure you add something like this Philips Hue wireless wall switch that will give you a means to manually control the device while also having it be smart. If you start adding a bunch of smart home devices to your home but remove the ability to manually control them, you're going to be super unhappy with it. Make sure every device you install, you think to yourself, is there a way that I could set up to manually control this? Tip number 5 is to make sure to set up automations. A few different automations I always recommend starting with are ones that happen at a certain time of day, maybe a bedtime or a good morning routine, or an automation that bases off your phone's GPS when you're coming or leaving home. If you set up your smart home properly and everything's all under one ecosystem, you'll be able to do that right in the app. The Apple HomeKit automation setup here is super easy to use. I always recommend just thinking logically about what are the things I'm doing regularly every day and using automation to solve those problems. Which brings us to number 6, which is don't over-automate things. Sometimes it's really cool to have the ability to do a bunch of crazy automations, and you end up adding so much in that it ends up being kind of annoying, and there's lights turning off at times where you didn't actually want it to turn off. You need to draw the line at a point where things are going to happen when you need them to happen, but not happen so much that it's once again going to come full circle and be an inconvenience to yourself, and you just kind of need to find that middle ground for yourself. If you're running into this issue a lot, you could use conditional automations where you could do something like when you arrive home only at a certain time or only when something else is true, and that's when you start getting really advanced. If you follow those main pillars, you're going to have an absolutely incredible experience with your smart home. I could almost guarantee it. I always recommend starting with your lighting. This is going to be one of the things you interact with the most. Anywhere you can, use smart switches and then use smart bulbs or smart plugs with automations tied to them so you have physical control. The next thing you're going to want to look at is a smart lock. And lastly, a smart thermostat. Those are the 3 device categories that you're going to find really make a difference in a smart home. Other than that, once you have things set up, the beauty of it is you could add whatever you want. If you see a lamp you like, if you see some unique device, you can just add it to your smart home because you have it all set up properly. I have a whole bunch of different device recommendations in my bio there. If you guys are looking to dive into this, anything from plugs, lights, switches, all that sort of stuff, I have it all laid out there for you. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.